Well, morning chickens. I am out and about this morning getting a little bit of petrol for the mowers. It's nice, don't get out much. Poor old girl's covered in dust sat in the garage, but this is a nice little bit of countryside around here. A bit more English countryside. So I thought I'd show you this while I'm So I got 3 cans of petrol now, so that should keep me mowing for the next month or so. Well, that was another fine day. Not much videoing. Did the mower speed run. Be nice to mow everything at that height. So I'm just end of the day. I'm going to meld a few days videos into one, I think. Otherwise, it'd be quite short. So I'm just having a wander down, having a look at these pictures. And a nice look around on a sunny May night. Evening even. It's not night yet, bloody sun's up. So also I want to just check that I can actually hold the camera correctly, so you're not looking at my chin or it's just bouncing around all over the place. There's all these things you've got to learn really to make an acceptable video for the masses to gaze upon for 20 seconds. Don't know. There's some people out there who might want to look at this. You never know, but it's just worth a walk round of an evening. It's just beautiful. Even when the kids and teachers are here and everything, it even makes it more worthwhile because it's just that beautiful, quiet time of the evening. It's just bird song and some mad bloke talking to himself in the middle of the pitch. I'll shut up now. So this will be, this is part 1, and part 2, if anything interesting happens tomorrow, I'll stick that on after this. Good morning. So it is, what are we on, Friday, bank holiday, VE day. Remember to turn all the machines off at 11 o'clock, not make any noise. I'm having a little wander out the front fields this morning with the temptation of getting the Amazon on, but it takes a while. It's tempting. I've got to do the cricket square today or tomorrow. Give it a mow. It will possibly have a verticut at some time. This time, next time, probably next time. Especially if I'm going to sit on my arse and do some Amazoning for hours on end. But the Amazon will make it look a lot prettier than it is at the moment. With all these dandelion heads sticking out everywhere. So that's tempting. I've got plenty of other things I should be doing as well. See what I feel like when I get to the shed in about 1 minute. Everything can change. Oh, one man went to mow cricket square. Okay, 1 cricket square. Oh look, annual meadowgrass. Hello. It's humid anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna get a bit of grass off of this actually. Always bloody longer than it looks. Can't remember when I last did it. Look at that hideousness. Oh well. So this would be being used by now. We'd have had, what's this, second weekend, second weekend of matches would have been played on here this weekend. So I'm just going to give it a basic trim with my good friend Mr. Atco. So this is an Atco B24E. I think that's right. And it generally needs 2 hands to get it out. I might do it one-handed. Yeah, there we go. Lovely old girl. Electric start. The Luxury. It's a Royale, sorry, it's a Royale B24E. So 24-inch. Six blades. 6 blades. It's fairly tight. Grass will loosen that up. And we are cutting at umpteen mil, wherever that one is. I will measure it at some point. Professional groundsman, etc, etc. But that's about the height. I was going to lower it slightly, to get as many heads off as possible, but I'll leave what it is for now and see what it does. So I'm just basically striping up and down at the moment. I did have bays, wickets marked out in it, but when everything went tits up, I let them go. I've still got the corners marked in, but everything else I've just let go, and I'm just going up and down, striping it up that way. So yeah, it's just walking on it and just the density. I'm quite impressed by the density actually, because I only used 1 bag of seed on here at renovations. There's still a bit of moisture there actually. Booger. That's surprisingly wet. Still go. The bit I'm cutting is dry. Yeah, I only used 1 bag of seed. It's a 9-track square, so I was a bit skimpy on the seed, and it was all looking a bit not that thick over winter, but it is, as normal, it has thickened up loads. And it feels like quite a carpet in there, and I do need to get some scarification, verticutting next time. Not this time, next time, at some point. So that's what I'm going to do. Crack on with that, and then I think it's Amazon time. So yeah, just a bit more about the square while I'm here. So as I said, it's a 9-track. It's been 8.5 in the past, because that far end gets a bit, where we've had rain run off in the past, and it's just become a little bit uneven, so we sort of, it got dragged back and back over the years. But it's just about leveled out over the last couple of years. So I'm back to 9 tracks now, 9 10-foot tracks, and I do still use this end one for junior games, 21-19 yard. I try to keep them off of the main bit. The young'uns. We did have a second square out the back which sort of shrunk each year, and it got to the point where I just had 2 games on it one year, and it's quite an expense to look after a cricket square just for 2 games in 1 year. 1 school game and 1 sort of friendly village game. So I shut that one down and I just use this one now. And I still have plenty of capacity left. It's used by school in a normal year and village team in a normal year. At the moment it's used by no one. It's a K-loam base square. Not sure its full history, but it's been K-loam ever since I've known it. Take them out, that'd be good. Oh, Bessie. Good girl. Good girl. hell. Oh, this is going to be a thick one. That's definitely one of those. That's bloody longer than it looked. Again, a little sausage of grass. 5 runs, bloody hell. What's that? That's about 10 foot. I got. It's going to be about 9 box loads coming off. We've got 8 minutes until it is 11 AM. No, wrong. Bloody hell. Oh, that is thick. I'm an idiot. So the reason I'm chucking all the grass right over here is, my theory is, the worms would love a bit of this. There's not many around at the moment, but if I want to chuck grass cuttings anywhere, that at some point there, I could just run the Amazon over this actually. Side thought. The theory is that it keeps the worms away from the cricket square. If I was tipping that right by the square, I can just imagine an influx of worms from like the surrounding 2,000 acres. Come and get it, wormies. Get out. I'm going to sit on my tractor and reflect. That looks nice. Not bad at all. Walk up the light stripes. I hope other people walk up the light stripes as well. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, while we're on the, we're not on the subject, what are you on about? I probably kept in the video that I set off to mow the square without the cutters engaged. So I'm a idiot. Talking of idiots, because I was looking to get some of this annual meadowgrass down a bit, I was looking at the height of cut this morning, and I previously showed you those little yellow blobs on the side to show which height, what height is that. Well, when I looked at them this morning, one was one height and one was the other. And I thought, how the f did you manage that? So one was at the top of block 3, and the other side was at the top of block 4. So all this, the few mows it's had this season have been wonky, and that's disgusting. And I shall flagellate myself later or something. I think I'll keep these stupid bloody things in. I'm not perfect. I never claimed to be perfect. Well, sort of am. Not quite. No, I'm not. No, I am. No, I'm not. Anyway, I'll cut that bit out. There's so much grass. Bloody hell, it's a Cyberman. Ah, that's cool. Anyway, that's not what I'm here for. Definitely didn't nearly crash into the tractor then. That was all optical illusion, camera angle, etc. So that was the other thing on this Atco. This is a replacement Atco I got about 4 years ago now. And the old one, we had an old Atco, same as, had a replacement Lonsin engine on it, but it had a pull lever that you had to release to make it go forwards. So if that ever failed, the mower would take off by itself with cutters running. I considered that rather dangerous. So I sourced this newer model from the wonderful eBay with Dead Man's Handle Drive. Stripe, 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 stripe. You get the idea. So that's not looking too bad, is it? Keep those pesky cricketers off of it. I love them. I love them, apart from the ones that dig for gold. They're nasty. Put the barrier rope back up, stop it escaping. Escape once, bloody messy. Not bad, there we go. One cricket square mode. It's Amazon time. Back in the shed for a few minutes. This is an Amazon groundkeeper, and this is your GH02, something like that. 135 centimeters wide, built in 2003. Not in too bad nick. A newer, wider one would be lovely, but there you go. So, for anyone who doesn't know machine, this is powered by the PTO shaft coming out the back of the tractor to here. Goes into a gearbox there, shaft driven along here to a pulley there with a belt on it, and a pulley there with a tensioner in between, which then drives this rotor. You can't see it, that's good. So this rotor will be spinning fairly fast, and all these blades will be doing their thing. So you've got these flappy blades which will create wind and blow everything up into the collector, and then you've got 4 rows of other blades that you can use. At the moment I've got 2 rows of just 2mm scarifying blades. Don't know if you can see that or not. And then I've got 2 rows with 2mm scarifying blades and short wing blades. So these short wing blades will be cutting the grass, and then that scarifying blade will get about 2-3 centimeters, about an inch down into the turf. So I've got a couple of things to do to this. That's nice. I'm just going to scrape this roller off a bit. That should have been done when it was put away. Never mind. Blades are fine. They're ready to go. Drop that back down again. So the blades will cut it. It'll come straight up through there into this collector. It's a simple height adjustment on this. I've just got washers and bushes on here which I can swap over below or above that brace and just alter the height there. And I can also alter the height of the rear roller with just a few socket turns. Another thing I can do on here is I can close this flap, which then it doesn't collect, it just recycles it, which is quite handy sometimes. At the moment I want to pick up these windblown seeds and rubbish and stuff, so I'll be collecting, but sometimes I just want to break stuff up. Maybe there's just a few leaves, bits and pieces. And also when I hollow tine, I can run this over it and it breaks up all the little cores when they're dried out, and I'll just recycle them and it makes a lovely job of breaking them up. So it's a lovely multi-purpose tool, much like myself. So today's lesson is don't let mud dry off on your rear roller. And we are rolling. Got my snorkel on the front just in case of heavy rain. So here we have dandelions and annual meadowgrass. And here we have no dandelions, little bits of annual meadowgrass, but not too bad. So that is going to do an adequate job. There's the remains of a dandelion with no heads on it. So we're not touching the soil with the blades, we're down a few mil above. See these, they'll just hide right down in. There's got bits of annual meadowgrass there as well. Ideally I'll do this again in like a week's time. There's a few bits there. So it's not perfect, it'd be nice to get a bit more out, but it will do quite a nice job for now. Well, see how we go. I'm going for a long run in that direction and it's going to be dead straight. Right, we managed to get a fairly straight line. Should have done a short line really, but I like a challenge. So we got sort of ending up looking like that. The slight flaw in this plan is that, of course, with the Amazon sucking everything up and chucking it in, it's also blowing out the top a bit. So some of these dandelion seeds will just be going straight through the machine and flying out the other end. Stay lovely. Look at what is coming out. Bluebells, white bells. That's nice. It's managed to self-lock itself when I tipped it. Don't do that, thank you. Empty. So this is the silage pit. Lots of green. That was my knee creaking, by the way. So there's a lot of green, but there's various bits in there. Lots of yew. So it's taking stuff out. And a bit of grass. The bottom bit done, which now looks like that. Now the sun's gone in, the bastard. So that's the difference we're doing visually. We're also doing a bit more than that, taking stems off annual meadowgrass flower heads. So yeah, it's not bad. It'll look quite nice when it's all done. Anyway, lunchtime. I think bacon and egg toasty, I think. Maybe with a splash of beans on the side, just to liven things up a bit. The joys of long hours in a cab. I have just spent a fun-filled few minutes saying Denise Van Outen in a German accent. Denise Van Outen! I think it means fuck off or something in German. Ruh-roh. Well, that is the first cut done. That's a lot of up and downs. That's a lot of up and downs at 1 metre 35 centimetres every run. But it's very pleasant. So, first cut in, I'll sheet this and chuck tyres on it tomorrow. I won't. And that will do for today. What day is it? Friday. Friday. Tomorrow is, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. It's more mowing. I think I'll do some more mowing, just for a change. That's better. Happy with that. Looks really nice from the sunny side. I've left the first pitch because I'll do that up and down at some point. It wasn't quite as bad as this near side. It got a bit more scarification after Rugby Sevens back in March, or the 2 days of Rugby Sevens before it all got shut down. So yeah, not quite as weedy, not quite as annual meadow grassy, not quite as stemmy. So possibly I will do this one again at a different angle. I'll see what comes back. Come up here tomorrow, there's going to be fucking dandelion heads everywhere. How am I scarified them off. They'll be back tomorrow. Anyway, that'll be it. That should be my last sign in of the day. So that should be the end of the video. If it isn't, I thought something else, but I probably won't. So that'll be it. So that's the end of today's front side shenanigans. Leave it all looking a bit like that. And for quite a while the square was darker than the surrounds. Now it's lighter than the surrounds. So I will probably get a little bit of fertilizer on it. At some point I got a choice of soluble or granular. So it depends on the weather. See what's coming. I don't want to push it too much nitrogen. But yeah, happy with that. It's tidied it up a lot. It hasn't taken all the stuff out that I wanted. I might have a go at it in a week's time, opposite direction. But yet again, another cracking evening. Well, we got one more of these, and then the temperature plummets to an ice age. Probably, well, 10 degrees. Anyway, yeah, that's quite nice. Looking all right. I do believe it is a cup of tea time. Laters.